This video is to give you an overview of the process for packing and running a mini flash chromatography column. So the first thing we need to do is to get a 5 3/4 inch, that's one of the short Pasteur pipettes, and we want to put a small amount of clean cotton in the bottom of it, and you can press that down with, you can either use, this is a boiling stick, or you can use the end of a long Pasteur pipette like you do when you're making a filter pipette. Okay, then we want to get the silica gel into the column, so just invert the open end of the pipette into the silica gel and then take it out, and then you just need to tap it or tamp it down on the countertop, and do this until you've got the silica gel packed up to just where that indentation is at the top of the column. And then, so you can see here's the indent, there's your cotton plug, and in between is the silica. And then you want to clamp it firmly because we're going to be pressing down on this, so you want to make sure that it is held tightly in the clamp. Then what we need to do is we need to pre-elute or wet the column with the solvent. So you add the solvent to the top of the column, and then you can either let the solvent, and you hear this arrow is just showing you the solvent starting to flow through the column. And that's going to go relatively slowly. You can see here's another image of the solvent about halfway down the column. The other thing that we can do is we can use air pressure to force the solvent through the column, and more on that in a second. One of the key things to keep in mind, however, is you never want to let the solvent get below the level of where the silica gel is. It can come to right where the silica gel is, but you don't want to let it go below that or the column is going to crack. And this slide shows continuing to force the solvent through the column. Here they're using a pipette bulb. As I said, we're going to use an air jet in order to do that. And here they're showing the column that it's completely wetted. And so since the column is completely wetted, we can stop for a second and get our sample prepared. Okay, so now to prep our sample, you're going to need to take 50 to 60 milligrams of your sample, and yes, you need to weigh this out, and you can dissolve it. You can put it in a beaker or a scintillation vial. The beaker is shown here. Dissolve it in a small amount, probably 1 to 2 milliliters, I would say less than 1 milliliter of dichloromethane, and then add 100 milligrams of silica gel, so you should have that weighed out already. And then what you can do is you can then stir that with a spatula until the solvent evaporates. You can even use a very gentle stream of air to help you evaporate the solvent, and what will happen is then you'll have a powder here, and that powder will have, with the silica gel, will have your sample adsorbed onto it. Then what you can do is place your free-flowing powder of your silica gel with your sample. We didn't want to use a large amount because we don't want to fill up the column all the way, but then put that on a folded piece of weighing paper, and then you can just use that to funnel your solid into the column as shown here. And now you've got your sample on the column, and what we're going to do after that is we're going to add the solvent to elute the sample. So you can see here that we've added a small amount of solvent, and they're using a pipette bulb as a source of pressure to force the solvent through the column. Once again, we're going to use not a pipette bulb, but a stream of air. And as you push the sample, or as you push the solvent into the column, you can see, and then you add more solvent each time, you can see that your sample starts to move down the column. Now, your sample isn't this nice yellow colored sample, so you're not going to be able to see visually your sample moving down the column and separating. And we'll talk about how we're going to figure out what's going on. Okay, you can see here that as the solvent flows through the sample, we're collecting different fractions. You're actually going to use test tubes to collect your different fractions. Now, as you push the solvent into the column, you're going to let the solvent come to the very, very top of the column, and then you'll stop applying pressure and add fresh solvent. So we'll just keep doing that and we're probably going to collect, I think, oh, yeah, about 10 fractions. Okay, so these are actual images of what your setup is going to look like. Once again, it's exactly the same in the pictures from UC Boulder. You can see that there's the column, and there's the pipette that's applying some solvent to the column. And here is your sample, which, as you can see, maybe it's just kind of a pale yellow. It's not going to be a bright yellow, and you're not going to be able to see the components traveling down. You're going to be collecting your samples in. You're going to be collecting your samples in these small test tubes here, and as I said, you're going to collect 10 fractions, and then we'll TLC all the fractions. Also, in order to force the solvent through the column, which is something you have to do with flash chromatography, we're going to use, you can see here, we're going to use a piece of hose, and that's going to be attached to the air spigot, and we are going to use the lowest possible level of air. That will be plenty to force the solvent through the column.